Hey guys, Ricky Adamas here with Two-Handed Bowling, and at the request of a subscriber, I'm going to do what I know about the release in two-handed bowling. Now, the release is similar to what you would do with one-handed bowling, with the added advantage that with two-handed, of course, you have the support of your other hand to help, cradle the ball, and thus you don't need the wrist strength that you need when you have one hand holding the ball. So let's talk about the angles. So first I'm going to put the ball down. So now I'm going to show you my hand, and since I'm left-handed, I'm going to do this with the right hand. Okay, so we have the added advantage of, like I said, being able to cradle the ball like this. Our wrist is in this position here, and thus we're able to hook the ball more as we straighten out the hand. Well, one of the first things that you're going to have to learn if you want to not hook the ball as much is to keep the wrist in this position, right? It's called flattening out the hand. If you want to make the ball not hook as much when you let go, you're going to come back and come forward, and the hand's going to look like this, and you could do this if you want, or what I do to straighten it out, if you don't want to hardly hook at all, is kind of do a Spider-Man thing. Now the hand, going this way, it kind of looks like this, and it straightens the hand so much that when you go like this, only the little bit of the finger getting stuck in the inserts kind of influences the ball to hook a little bit towards the end. So that's a great shot to use for a 10 pin if you're right-handed, or a 7 pin if you're left-handed. Now, another variation on the release, one that I really like a lot, for the strike ball, is going to be variations on the access tilt. So, let's say from a right-hander's point of view, right? We have our fingers separated. Now, I talked about this in one of my other videos, but I'm going to go over it again. Now, if you put the pinky in and you have this finger as far to the right, the pinky in, and this finger here, the pointer, as far to the right as possible, that will make the ball hook later and harder at the end. So if your ball's hooking too early, you want it to wait a little bit longer, do this. Now, if you want it to wait just a little bit longer, well, let's say that you're doing this and you want it to hook a little bit sooner. So let's say you start out like this and you want it to hook a little bit sooner. What you'll do is you will kind of put them even, like you would put this out and this one out, right? Do you see the difference there? It's like a W. Now, let's say you want it to hook sooner, but it's not gonna hook quite as hard at the end. It's going to be more like a banana. It's going to be constant. It's going to be an arc that's constant as it goes and hooks into the pins, versus something that's like this and then at the last second it goes, ugh, right? That one is going to be doing this right here with your hand. So when you have the bowling ball, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get your hand and you're going to put it over here, and then now that we're looking here, if I want to hook at the end very sharply, it's going to look like this if I'm right-handed. And if I'm left-handed, it's going to look like this. Pointing finger out, pinky in. If I want it to hook sharper but wait longer, it'll wait longer, it'll skid, the ball will skid through the oil, and then at the last second, it'll go, or depending on which hand you are, right? Now, let's say that I want it to go middle of the road. So, medium hook and medium wait, like it won't wait as long. It'll kind of be a middle of the road. It won't wait too long, but it won't hook super fast either. You would do something like this. Now, if you want it to hook sooner and not have quite the oomph at the end, you'll do something like this. Bring this one in, and it'll touch your pointer, and then the pinky out to the right. or if you're left-handed, of course, like this. Now, that's one thing you could do. Now, another thing that you can do, if you want to make the ball hook more, of course, I talked about bringing the wrist in like that if you want to make it hook more. But what's another thing you could do? Another thing you could do is, let's do it with the right hand. You can cock your wrist. So that would be like this. See, I'm making the wrist go to the right. And want it to hook a little bit less, I can more this way. And I want it to really hook very little, I can bring it this way. See? So this is letting the ball fall off the hand. See, this is a straight wrist. This is uncocked. If I go back and then I go forward and then the ball falls off my hand, you see that? It just falls off my hand. There's very little influence. It falls off. Now this is cocked, so it's hard to see, I know, because it looks, but I'm bending my wrist, I'm bending my hand as far to the right as I can, making this shape, see? Versus straight. So you would go like this, and then you would go back, and when you go forward, your hand has to uncoil to get into the same position versus going like this where it's just falling off your hand and it's already uncoiled. That's essentially what I know right now for releases, and I'll try and go over the full roller and the half roller and that other stuff later on, but that's something you can experiment with right now, and hopefully that'll help you out. If you like this video, you have any additional advice you can help other people out, I would really appreciate it. If you would like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day.